We're alive. Okay.
Yes.
Yay. I don't know if you can see comments on that side. I can't yet because lag.
I say,
So
are there any? It just started.
that's true.
It like
Sometimes,
it just started. From who? Also,
mm,
early shout out to the person who's been in our waiting room since yesterday.
yeah, what the heck?
Whoever you are entitled to like a free like blown kiss from me. Like whoever the fuck you are, who's been like literally in this waiting room since goddamn yesterday. Like you the real
Yes.
MVP.
Happy Halloween.
Happy
Yes.
Halloween, blessed Samhain.
Yeah, see, I'm not a witch yet, so I'm like
That doesn't mean that you don't acknowledge them.
no, I mean like I didn't think about saying that because I'm like, dang,
Like
I'm not
I'm
a witch.
not
I didn't know.
like I'm Hello, Rotten Blossoms team. We're glad to have you.
Yes. Hi, hi.
It's like
Hello, hello.
just like I still acknowledge them, even though I still put Catholic on my census.
Mm. Oh, sorry. Of course I would have an eyelash in my eye. And it's hot. What the heck? Already. Already. This is so hey y'all. Welcome to the Yaoi Shelf Live.
I just want you guys to know it's been a minute and 40 seconds.
Mm.
And at this time marker, you can mark down the complaining. At a minute and 37 seconds is when you can mark the complaining has begun. Happy Halloween,
Okay.
Aisha.
Yes, happy Halloween. How has your Halloween been so far?
I made snickerdoodles
Ooh.
and then I fell asleep on the couch.
I mean, honestly, that sounds like living your best life, TBH. Hey, Ethan, good to see you.
I had another show last night,
Mm-hmm,
so I was really doing my best to like sound human because
mm-hmm,
that
mm-hmm.
was like a 2-3 hour recording. So
Yeah.
I mostly was just like, let's rest and try to be human and present and alive and not look like you hate yourself.
Yeah, I
Because
mean,
I
that's
was
fair.
in much more makeup yesterday. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if you saw on Twitter.
Wait, was that your Ursula costume?
It was.
Yes, I
So I
did
was
see.
in much more makeup yesterday and
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to die.
Yeah, but you looked great.
Thank you. I
I
still
actually was lurking and I meant to like it, but I forgot.
You were just lurking.
I was like, let me lurk. Well, I lurk on Twitter sometimes when I don't want people to know that I'm on there. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know why I do that. And then I think, oh, I need to remember to like this. And then I forget. So
Snickerdoodles are top
snickerdoodles are
tier.
top tier. They are delicious.
I'm not even
I
done with
love
them. They're
them.
gonna get a frosting of a buttercream and a cookie butter from Trader Joe's.
Okay. See, you lost me at buttercream, but then you won me back with cookie butter on a cookie. That sounds like
Cookie butter on a
yes.
cinnamon sugar cookie.
That sounds amazing. Hey, hey, good to see you. Yes, happy Halloween.
It is a
We are
glorious
so
Halloween.
excited. We are, listen, honestly though, I'm kind of sad because I'm not feeling I'm usually really in the spirit of this holiday, but for some reason today I'm just kind of like it feels like I don't know, it just feels like a regular day.
It might be, and I hate to make this political, but because
Yeah.
every other piece of media is saying like it's 3 days to election day or like it's 3 days to doomsday. So like it's been really, really hard to like think about time in a linear fashion
Mm-hmm,
outside of
mm-hmm.
like this doomsday clock of like we're 30 seconds to
Tuesday.
midnight. Like because I saw that today. I did because like,
Mhm.
usually Twitter gives you like a little like, hey, it's this day. And like today it wasn't a Halloween thing. It was like it's 3 days until the
Oh,
election. It's
I
like,
know.
thanks.
Yes,
I was
yes.
I
The
haven't watched
pandemic.
any of my spooky things. I have like
Mm,
3 spooky things. I've watched none of them.
right. Yeah. It's like we usually watch The Nightmare Before Christmas every year. All the kid like Fox when he was little, he used to call it Halloween Christmas, and then Phineas also called it Halloween Christmas. So on
Okay.
Halloween and on Christmas, we watched The Nightmare Before Christmas, and
Mm-hmm.
we didn't. We
Mm-hmm.
haven't, and
Can I
I'm
tell you a
sad.
secret?
Sure.
I hate that movie.
What?
Here's why.
What?
Here's why. My first job was at Hot Topic during the height of Hot Topic's powers in 2006 to 2007. If I see another Jack Skellington, I'm going to curb stomp a hoe.
That's fair.
It has nothing to do with the movie. Yeah. The movie is fine. It's a good movie. But if I have to see another fucking, oh my God, we're like Jack and Sally. If I have to see that shit again, it's going to be like that movie Postal, but with a small black woman.
That's fair. Honestly, that's 100%.
Yeah, I used to work at Hot Topic. Fun fact, if you can't tell by my everything, my first job was at Hot Topic.
It's no way.
I know, shocking spilled tea here. If you can't tell by my everything, my first legal job was sales associate at Hot Topic, in which my interview was done with the manager behind the dumpster next to the Cheesecake Factory, where we just talked about music.
I mean, I love that. See, my first job was at my local grocery store as a cashier.
Yeah, I mean, I win as far as first job.
On brand.
Like first jobs, I win, but like when you want to talk about hating a certain kind of fan in person, like retail, niche retail, and then Hot Topic niche retail, because spoiler alert for you guys who think that you're super individual, Hot Topic's a Gap brand. It's in the same family as Old Navy, so like you're not saving anyone's lives. Just saying. Just saying. I don't know when I became the anarchist of this chat. Like I tweeted yesterday, that was me, about the Sony and Crunchyroll merger.
I feel like that's not new though for you.
It's not, but like it's a new role for me because I'm always been there, but like I don't know, y'all gave me power, so now I'm more about it. We haven't spoken about Boys Love. It's been 7 minutes.
We sure have not.
Whose idea was it to do 10 count? Was it because we were railing?
It was because we were talking about, look, because here's the thing. Since we're talking about 10 count, which I don't know if y'all have seen our Twitter account. I just posted a picture. Yes, I just posted you can't tell now because I had to take the mask off. It's in the gloves off.
All the parts
my hands were sweating. My hands were sweating, y'all. And I really want to take this shirt off, but I don't have anything underneath this whatsoever. And I was told that I'm not allowed to take my clothes off. So,
I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm going to stop you right there. I refuse to sit here and be painted into a corner like I am somehow a bad person by asking for the minimum amount of decency that you,
terrible, how dare you,
bottom on this stream are not just shirtless, are nude.
How dare you tell me that I have to wear clothes on stream?
How dare I here in front of people on the internet demand that you wear clothing? Shame on me.
I don't understand how you can do that to me.
The audacity.
The absolute gall. So I currently am doing a closet cosplay. I don't know. The lighting is bad in here. Sorry. I know. Like, can you see it? Can you see it?
It's like Darude Sandstorm just flailing around a manga.
If you'll look on our Twitter, you can see the picture. I think I did a pretty decent job. I obviously could not have my shirt completely unbuttoned. I mean, listen, my boobies are very small, so it wouldn't have made much of a difference, but I didn't want to like put myself out there on the internet like that. So
you have no idea the struggle I go through to not have my tits being shown in this frame right now.
I mean, I have zero idea.
You have no idea what I'm going through at this moment to make sure that my tits are not in this frame.
Zero none.
They are shelved right now underneath my table.
Mine are just sitting on my chest, barely, kind of sweating because the shirt is very hot. But yeah, so this is me today. See?
Yeah, I took like 5 different references and mashed them all together into a
Yeah.
chimera because that's what cosplayers do.
I mean, I love it. I'm
That's
like
what,
super
oh my
happy with it.
God. If you want to see me at my shadiest,
Mm.
if you want to see me at my shadiest, hang out with me during a convention because there's nothing that
Mhm.
I love more than like a mall cosplay. It's like, oh, this is this character like going to the mall. It's like
Mhm.
Deku's not going to the fucking mall.
All right, distract me.
Bakugo's not going to the goddamn mall. Like
Oh
you're just
wait,
in a wig.
character going to the mall?
Like it's basically just like really like civilian cosplay with like
Uh-huh.
one key character piece. So like
Oh,
you saw it a lot with like Free Iwatobi Swim Club because like those are mostly just like dudes. But it's like, or Hitalia would do it a lot since
mhm.
Hitalia is a major talking point right now, which I never thought would happen.
Yeah, that's
I mean, I can spill the tea on that.
weird. Mm.
I can spill the tea on why Hitalia is a talking point.
Cons, man.
I miss cons so much.
I've never been to one. I would like to go, but
This year was my 10-year anniversary.
for con going,
Well, like good con going, because of course, like I
yeah.
snuck out when I was in high school and like was wrapped in sheets and like, oh, I'm gonna go study for the AP test with all my clothes.
Hmm. I mean, yeah, I didn't. I was not. I lived out in the country anyway, so it wasn't like
Yeah.
I couldn't sneak out. Sneak out where? To the fields? Like,
Have you read Night Beyond the Tri-Cornered Window? It's super spooky.
um,
I've read it.
no, I haven't, but
I
I've
don't
been
know if
hearing a
I'd
lot
call
about it.
I don't know if I'd call it spooky. But also, I have a very different caliber for spooky. You children are not going to cons. When those are a thing again, I cordially invite you to Dallas, which I think has the best conventions in the country.
Interesting.
It's
I mean,
also
Dallas
usually where I go.
yeah. I definitely plan to go to some cons in Dallas once everything is back to normal, safe. Once everything is once I get my vaccine.
Yeah, I think once there's a vaccine, TBH, like I don't care.
Once I get a vaccine, I'm wilding out. I'm y'all have no idea. I'm wilding out. Y'all are gonna see me out.
I
Out.
didn't think I was such a valley girl. I miss the mall so much.
I miss clubs. That's what I miss. I miss going to the club and getting tipsy and
I
dancing.
have been to 2 clubs in my adult life.
Listen, I'm a gay club connoisseur. That's me. I'm just
I've been to 2 clubs in my adult life. I was raised in a jazz club because my dad used to he was security at one.
Mm-hmm.
As if my life didn't need any more shonen connotations. I was raised in a jazz club. But like me as an adult going to clubs, I get really introverted and weird. And I don't like them.
Yeah, I love to dance and I love to be tipsy.
But I can do that at home.
Yeah, but but I'm also high key an exhibitionist.
I love that you corrected yourself because you were about to get.
Yeah, I was gonna say low key, high key. Somebody just rang my doorbell. I bet you it's some trick or treaters, and I bet you we don't got candy. I don't know why they're here. Absolutely not. You're not bringing your
5:45.
Also, it's not even
early. Also, I know that we're still not talking about Boys Love, but
yeah, sorry.
As a connoisseur of gloves, the internet has really lacked in its ability to make good gloves. And as someone who spends a lot of time wearing gloves, I would just like to say there is an art to a good glove.
Mm-hmm.
These are not good gloves. They're not the worst gloves I've ever worn. Mm-hmm. But we really, as a society, can improve our glove technology. I'm just saying.
I mean, it does kind of look. It looks fine, but I can tell that it's not like
serviceable.
The best. Yeah, I mean, it's fine.
As all things are serviceable.
Oh, see, it's so funny because I think like I am an introvert as far as like I need to be alone in order to like recharge, and I do enjoy being alone, but I also really love being like I love going out to the clubs and like dance. Like, I love that. I love being out and around people and just like twerking my little booty. and it's fun, and I miss it. So as soon as I get my vaccine, it's on. I'm getting out.
I also like can't imagine Oklahoma gay club TBH.
Oh, I don't. Well, Oklahoma City has great ones. Like that's where I used to. When we lived in OKC, we used to go.
Like
I used to go with my friends.
I don't not believe you, but it sounds like one of those like weird oxymoron things that like shouldn't exist.
You'd be surprised. I feel like everyone has this idea that Oklahoma City is just like most other cities. Like it has things, and like it has a pretty good, like, I guess you could say, gay community there, and pretty good bars, pretty good clubs.
I'm sure it does. I just can't wrap my head around it. Also, in all fairness, every Texan is taught that Oklahoma is where decency goes to die.
It's so strange.
Is it?
I find it strange.
Like every Texan is taught that Oklahoma is like this. It's sort of like in The Lion King, where it's like, no, we don't talk about those lands.
That is so weird, because I feel like Oklahoma and Texas, honestly, real talk, they are not that different. And people say that they are the same. They are the same. Like, as someone who grew up in Oklahoma and also has spent a lot of time in Texas, they're the same.
Okay, well,
I mean,
you're wrong, but you are entitled to your wrong opinion.
There's no difference. I promise. It's the same.
I mean,
it's the same Trump supporters.
I'm glad you feel that way.
It's all the same.
I'm glad. You know what? I'm glad that you feel open enough to express that opinion in public.
I mean, who's gonna check me? Who's gonna fight me? Somebody from Texas? Y'all gonna run up? I bet y'all won't.
I will. Is that a challenge, ho?
I bet you won't. Shoot. So don't forget, I'm tall.
And what? So do you want to do the unboxing first, or do you want to recap an episode first?
Let's actually, you know what? We're 17 minutes in. Let's do this unboxing. So
yeah.
You need to I put it in the description, but just so y'all know, this live is sponsored by our friends at Yaoi Crate.
Yes.
Yay. So this live is sponsored, but we did buy these boxes ourselves.
Yeah, like full disclosure, our coins did pay for this box.
We did pay for subscriptions, but this live is also sponsored, if that makes sense. So
it does. Sponsorships help us keep the lights on.
The
metaphorical light.
Yes, the lights on the podcast. Yes.
The metaphorical lights. So we're going to do an unboxing, which is something that really neither of us do a lot.
Well, actually, okay.
You unbox a lot?
Not on Mama Loves Manga, but I used to do a lot of unboxings on my old channel.
I don't unbox. There's always like this weird like ASMR fetishist part of unboxing.
That's why I like it. But I also have learned a lot of things about myself during this pandemic. So
you just been over there listening to Yagami Yato audio and
you're so welcome.
You over there just listening to Yagami Yato at like 8 o'clock in the morning.
Maybe, but of course we are going to subscribe. We were super excited. Like,
we've been screeching about this for the better part of a few weeks.
I fully believe in like supporting things that I love. Like, yeah, y'all can pay us, but also we're going to still support, if that makes sense, because we want to see you be great. So yay. Super excited.
So I just took a pair of scissors to this box.
Yes.
Aisha is shady because she did not tell me that I tweet like a 90s seme, because I described this box like an UK I was about to conquest.
That's fine though. I thought you knew.
I really did.
That was your thing.
I really had no idea. No one told me. No one told me that I tweeted like a 90s seme.
I thought you knew. I'm so sorry.
No, you're not.
I do want to say that I really appreciate the fact that that my address is on the bottom and not the top, so that whenever I do open it, like I don't have to hide it. Because when I've done unboxings in the past, I've had to like cover my
Right.
address because I don't want everybody to have my address because
Right.
I don't want people running up. So
I also very much appreciate that the packaging is discreet, even though there is basically a sex toy on the sticker.
yeah, I mean, as someone who
knows what that is,
yeah, exactly. It's like,
but like to anyone else, because that was, you know what? I'm still a bit of a closet freak just because like I have a day job and everything like that.
mhm.
And though I don't think I would have felt a ton of shame if it was just like a box of pink dicks, like I can't guarantee that I would have felt a ton of shame, but I'm sure for others who are more discreet than I am,
Oh
like I
yeah,
really appreciate that this packaging is like trying to conceal my sins.
yeah. I definitely agree with that. I mean, as someone who has zero shame, I actually would. I would listen. I would.
You want it to be a box of pink dicks?
Oh my gosh, I would revel. I almost, there's a part of me that wishes that it had dicks all over it so that the mail carrier had to look at it.
There's the fabric that I want.
I have a problem. I really love the idea of people knowing the things that I'm into, but like not saying that they know, and me just being like, I know you know.
Okay, you get that from hentai because like there's nothing hot about that. There's
It
nothing
is
hot
me.
about like your 50-year-old Protestant mail carrier
Yes,
who is like holding your goddamn Hitachi wand.
that's hot to me. That's
Fucking
hot.
gross.
I like it.
You're gross.
Yes, a box of pink dicks. We love to see it.
Okay, so are we opening the box?
We're gonna open the box. So
Okay.
here we
I love it.
How cute it is. Oh my gosh.
Now I can't get rid of the box. Where the fuck am I supposed to put another box?
Oh, that's so freaking cute. Oh
Where
my
the fuck am I
god.
supposed to put it's so
Oh
lovingly,
my god, petals.
so lovingly arranged.
I love this.
This is like so beautifully arranged. I haven't taken care of human beings as well.
ASMR.
Are you done?
I'm done. I'm sorry. I'm done.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you done? Are you done? Are you good?
There's a card. Should we look at the card on top first?
Yeah.
I guess that's the first thing that I pulled out.
There is a beautiful card. I like the card.
Yes.
It's very
The card
pretty.
is very cute. It's not ASMR. Oh, sorry. I need to learn how to do listen, once I find out how to do ASMR, it's over for you hoes.
It's so weird now with like the trend of like boys love like moaning ASMR. Like I used to do that in high school when I was too young to do it. And it was just like me and my friends moaning into like our library microphones.
Mm.
When we were too young to do this.
Anyway.
And an LGBTQ plus positive publishing company.
Yes, Rotten Blossoms. They are in the chat right now.
Yeah, we very much appreciate it, mostly because, and we've talked about this in multiple episodes, that I think the BL space still gets a lot of flack for being like cishet women who are fetishizing the gays. We've talked ad nauseum about how that's mostly not true, but if you're going to say that you're a part of this community, might as well wear it on your sleeve. So
Yeah.
I'm happy about it. What the fuck am I supposed to do with these petals? Am I supposed to keep these?
Put them in like a jar. Side note, yes, I am both a voyeur and an exhibitionist. I am both of those things. But consent is, well, unless you're, well,
that's the thing. Like, you can't consent with the 50-year-old Protestant who's holding your fucking monster cock. That's not consent.
That's what he gets for having that job. Okay, it's not my fault if they send it with dicks on the box.
That's not consent. He didn't sign up for that. That's not what he wants. He just wants to cash his union check and go home. Oh my god. No, he didn't want that.
It's not my fault.
Like, I feel so bad for Catholic priests sometimes because they keep getting fucking fetishized by thirsty ass hoes. And it's like, take off your Roman collar. And it's like, they can't.
That's one thing I will say. I don't have a priest fetish. Well, actually, that's a lie because I'm reading a webcomic right now about vampires, and there's a priest, and he's hot.
I'm an actual Catholic.
He's
Stop
really hot.
fetishizing our priest.
But you have to see him. You have to see what he looks like.
You know what? We did have one hot priest at my aunt's parish, and there was an incident in which he went upstairs with my aunt for prayer, and me and my friend he was living in our house, we were both just like,
for prayer.
It was for prayer. Father Jonathan could get it.
Listen,
Father Jonathan could lay me down like 1 Corinthians any night. I don't know where he is now.
Actually, okay.
No, we don't.
I know like there's a lot of like controversy, I guess, around however you pronounce it, ahegao. How do you say it? Ahegao?
Are you trying to rope me into being the deviant?
I'm just saying I don't mind it.
Of course you don't mind it.
I don't mind it. What's next? What's next in our
also pink?
Yes, they're pink.
Oh my god, this is such an aesthetic mood. This is like such an aesthetic mood. I'm like it.
Not kidding. I'm going to keep these in like I have a thing about I'm an old Southern black lady.
You're an old white woman.
Who keeps glass jars?
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Ahegao. Thank you. Because I was like, I don't know how to
fucking say words.
Ahegao. Okay. So I've already moved most of my peanuts. The next thing I've pulled out. This is for me and my kink.
This is for me being old, because here's some story time from the old fan days. Drama CDs and CDs of any kind. That was high fucking art. So thank you for making me feel like I'm in high school again when I should not be indulging in this stuff. I can't goddamn wait. And I actually just expanded to my second Yaoi shelf.
Yay, congratulations.
Because I keep buying My Hero Academia monster and evil villain zines. I keep buying them. Why do they have such attractive villains? And why am I such a villain fucker?
I don't watch MHA, so I have no idea. No one is
complaining about the villains being underage because all of them are consenting adults. So no one's doing the whole, you're a pedophile.
Yeah.
Dobby and this character together because Dobby's fucking 27.
Yay! I'm so excited because y'all have no idea. I'm so ready. The next thing I see, I think you should show, because I'm pretty sure it's something that you had a part in.
Hello there.
So our very own Amanda designed this pin.
I did design this pen.
Praise her.
I did design this pen.
I'm excited. I'm gonna put this on. I have to put this on. I have so many pins. I'm still looking for something to put them on. I don't know if I want to get a cork board and put them on my wall. Over here.
I was gonna do an Ita bag, but like all of the Ita bags are so small. And I'm an old white woman in that I need a purse that can carry like a small child and a year's worth of provisions.
Wow. Even when I had small children, I was bad about not carrying enough things.
No, you should see my con bag.
Wow. Yeah, Amanda made it. Yeah, Amanda designed it. And we love it. We love it.
I'm going to go ahead and go up one more comment. No one said villains had to be ugly. Half of Dobby's skin is bacon. And I would still ride that Pierce dick into the sunset. He is literally a burn victim stitched together and being held apart by flames and spite. If he gets too worked up, he literally starts smoking at the seams. He's hideous. But I would do anything that man says.
Oh my gosh, I can't.
There is no reason why Dobby should be as hot as he is. I pun because he's a fire user, but like he's literally gross. Most of him is missing. He looks like a slab of beef jerky, but I would do whatever that man says.
I mean, I like monsters, so I'm not even judging.
Overhaul. You would like him very much. He has hands that have mouths on them when he gets really upset, and they have teeth. You're welcome. Mm-hmm. That's right, My Hero Academia fuckers. I'm here for you. But yeah, I designed a pen, and I love it.
It's so cute. We love it. We freaking love it. It's so cute. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. My first enamel pen.
Yay! So, okay, the next thing
that we see, the last of the petals. I have so many charms now.
I don't have any, so I'm excited.
So I got a bunch of charms with the last villain zine that I bought. I keep getting charms. I'm gonna have to get an Eat bag anyways. Oh my god, they're adorable.
They're so cute. I purposefully did not look at any of the spoilers because I didn't spoil. Oh my gosh, they're so precious.
Also, you children spoiling things immediately. Eef all of you. Lovingly, but like eef all of you.
Okay, y'all can't see that. Oh my god, so cute. I'm gonna probably I like keychains, but my keychains always end up like
I think I'm gonna do a cork board because like I want them to be somewhere, but I really can't rationalize an Ita bag. Like I really like I'm not on that level where I can rationalize an Ita bag.
Oh, so cute. Yeah, I'm not big on I mean I do have bags. I do have like purses. I don't carry them that often. I don't go anywhere. Shit.
I'd love to have to film.
Oh, on the
charm is the word.
I was like on the on the charm.
Charm is the word you're looking for?
On the I'll just leave it.
Shameless plug. If you want to see me at my absolute shadiest, for my other podcast last night when I was dressed up as Ursula and I had like 10 inches of makeup on, I looked like the shadiest goth Dolly Parton because like all you see are eyes and like lips because I'm wearing like 3 different shades of red lipstick. So just anytime like an eyebrow quirk is just like 30 times magnified. Yes. You want to see me at my absolute shadiest. There's a manga in here.
Wait, what did you see first? Because I saw
these next. Oh god.
Okay. That's what I saw. So
Psychopath and the Killer. Okay. Thank you for responding to my particular kink. Thank you for responding to my particular desires for
the cover. Look at it. Oh my god. Okay. I'm gonna be doing some reading tonight. Okay, and this one is Magenta Dreaming, which this is so cute. It looks soft. I bet this one is probably depressing. It looks soft, but I bet you it's like heartbreaking.
Sneak up on you.
Yeah, I'm very curious. I bet it's gonna make me cry. I'm gonna cry. Watch. I'm gonna cry. Yes. Oh, that's so. Oh my gosh, I'm putting this in a frame. Do they make like double-sided frames?
Yeah. It's called a shadow box.
Oh yeah.
Do they make this thing that's available literally everywhere? Yes. Yes, they do. I have some great news for you.
So this final card, it's just spoilers. I'm glad this was on the bottom. Thank you all for putting this on the bottom because when I've opened boxes in the past, I don't like it when the spoiler cards are on the top because I like to be surprised. I like to have like genuine reactions and be excited. So this was great.
I stand for giving us some kink and warnings on the spoiler cards. That's a brief slash. But like, I appreciate some kinks and warnings.
Oh wait, seduction under the influence of alcohol. How did y'all know that was one of my?
I feel like they gave us like each exactly what we wanted. Like I know this was like a mass-produced thing, but somehow you managed to like exactly to our needs. Which I'm starting to hate tags less, only because the more I publish on AO3, the more I have to tag.
I like tags because then I know what I'm getting. I'm like, Ooh, I'm ready.
I just like the surprise so much.
I mean, yeah,
I like the gut punch so much of like, oh,
I
that's what
know.
we're doing.
The whole box. The
What am I
whole
supposed to
freaking
do with
box
this
is
box?
decorated.
It's a
That
gorgeous
is
box.
so cute.
This is really cool.
Because I am a habitual box keeper. I'm telling you, I'm an old lady.
Mhm.
I especially when they're cute. I
Mhm.
reuse them. And I use them to like.
What
Well,
are
I
you
made
using this box for?
Didn't I make? Remember, I like
You
decorated
did.
a box
You
for you.
made me a Fumi Yoshinaga box.
Yes, because I have a thing. I like boxes. I think they're useful. They're
Well,
always
okay,
useful.
they are used. Like, don't make it sound like you've invented something new. They're boxes. They are useful.
Well,
They
it's
wouldn't
useful to
exist.
keep them because most people will just like throw them away.
No,
But I
that's
also
literally not true. There
I
is
also
no black person in America who
okay,
has thrown
fair.
away. Thank you.
Okay, fair.
Fuck
Black
Blessing. That is not true. Do you have a bag full of grocery bags?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I forget. Like, 'cause
There's
black
no
people,
black person in
yeah.
America that has thrown away a box since
That is very true.
1976.
And
So,
it's
you are
it's
not
just-
unique. You are not special.
it's
You have
I
not
just
cracked the code.
I'm around white people so much that I forget that other
The people
people
have been
that
doing
I'm
this for
not weird.
generations.
Yeah, I'm like, oh wait, I'm not weird. I'm just black.
No, you're
like
just black.
just-
Let's say, do you have a bag full of bags?
I also keep my butter like my country crock containers,
Okay.
and I definitely
I'm very
still
proud to say I don't do that shit.
I do it.
Because if I ever go to someone's house and I'm looking for butter and it's goddamn like mashed potatoes
It's
or
happened
something,
to me so many times,
I'm burning the house down.
but I still do it anyway.
No.
I keep it because
No.
it's useful.
Or
Why waste
get
it?
a Pyrex. You're not poor.
I have Pyrex also.
Get more
but
Pyrex.
It's nice. I like to reuse them. Yes, Southern Black. Okay, like that's just it is
I
what it
guess
is.
I'm a Yankee then because I throw that shit out of spite.
I keep it. I also very much keep like I had to stop. I had to forcibly make myself stop keeping jars to use as glasses. Even though listen, I know that I can just go to the store and
Just go
buy
get your
glasses.
Now, see,
But I don't want to.
I
Why?
keep
When I
jars
can,
because I'll put paint in them.
yeah,
or I'll
you do things
They-
with them.
Aisha, we're black. We know. We know, Aisha. We know. Our people were kept in bondage. We know. We know why we have. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not weird. I'm just black. It's
Yeah,
fine.
like, oh, you don't drink iced tea out of mason jars sometimes? Just me?
I mean,
okay.
always like who? What else do you drink them? What else do you drink sweet tea out of?
My Slytherin pint glass. That was a great
This
unboxing.
was fun. I almost showed y'all my. See, I was talking about how it's on the bottom. I almost showed it to y'all. Y'all run up if you want to. Run up and get done up. Don't forget, I'm in Oklahoma.
You don't own a. Stop it.
You don't
I'm
know.
so excited there's a BL pen club now. I guess I have to start keeping all the pens.
Yay. Oh, this was so much fun. I'm really excited to get into these.
too.
I'm okay. I am the only thing I just realized
Yes.
I don't have a CD player. I have an Xbox.
It'll play CDs.
Yeah, but I don't know if I want to put this in the Xbox because the Xbox is in the shared family room, the shared TV room.
Plug your headphones into the Xbox.
So I'm like,
Plug your headphones into the Xbox. I've had to do it many a night. You
I'm
plug
just
the
like,
headphones into the PlayStation and you ask no questions.
right. I'm gonna look on eBay and see if I can find
Really. So actually, one of the
Discman.
reasons why. Oh yeah, there are digital downloads.
Oh, that's right. I did. I did look at I did see the email. That's right. I forgot. Yay. Y'all are awesome. Yes. Thinking
Guys, one of the
ahead.
reasons I got the laptop that I have is because it has a disk drive.
Oh, yeah. Mine
It has
doesn't.
a card slot. It has a disk drive. It has an HDMI.
Oh.
Like 3 USBs.
Mm-hmm.
CD is a CD-ROM that plays.
Okay.
Like,
That's
look
I
at
can
you.
put it. Yes. Okay.
Look at y'all knowing that the children don't know what a CD is.
Well, I mean, that is true because young folks, what do y'all know about
Young folks have
CD
it so.
players?
What
Actually,
kind of
I still remember cassettes. So
Do you remember I think it was hit clips, little like 10-second clips of music that you can put in like these little tiny players, or like the toothbrushes that would play music in your mouth.
Vaguely.
Yeah, I had one
Vaguely.
of the toothbrushes that would play music into your mouth. That was weird.
That sounds very strange.
It's a weird experience. But my aunt's a dental hygienist, so anything that encouraged good oral health, she was like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah, here, listen to music while you're brushing
in your mouth, I guess. That's weird technology.
Yeah, I don't
remember. Hit clips. Yes.
What year was that? I don't remember.
2000s. This had to be like early 2000s. Mm-hmm. Okay, for the record, if I type HIT, the first thing into Google is Adolf Hitler. Y'all need to calm down.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
I'm not surprised, but y'all need to calm down. So Hit Clips is a digital audio player created by Tiger Electronics that plays lo-fi mono 1-minute clips of pop songs from interchangeable cartridges, launched in August of 2000, featuring Britney Spears, NSYNC, and Sugar Ray.
I mean, I loved all of them. I must have I think I didn't know what it was because I was poor.
In 2000, I was 10 years old and I was not poor.
In 2000, that was my freshman year of high school.
Mm-hmm. I was in a small Christian school. I had a hideous uniform.
I always wanted to wear uniforms, but
you know what? Outside of the fetishization of uniforms, of like children in uniforms, one, I think uniforms are very hot.
Yes.
And two, it's actually really nice, like not having to think about what you're wearing.
Exactly. And you don't have to worry about being made fun of because you're not wearing the Oh, really? They don't have to all wear the same?
So depending on, so you can usually tell class rank by what color uniform you have.
Okay.
Also where you bought your uniform, if it was unofficial or official, if you bought your uniform hand-me-down, how nice your tie was, what shoes you're wearing, your stockings. It's like Oron. Like, they will still find ways to make you feel poor.
I hate it. We not liked. We didn't like the box. We loved the box. I'm very happy with it. I'm really excited because this is something like I think it's I don't know. I just think this is so cool. Like there's nothing else out there like this. And for for Fujos, I think this or Fudanchis also.
Yeah, there was some chatter about not giving Fudons enough credit.
I mean, I can't. I'm not gonna speak on that. I guess I don't know. I don't know.
How dare you comment on exactly who I was? In 2000, I was still in elementary school. Okay, well I know you're legal now, but like
preschool.
We're surrounded by children. We're so old. When did this happen? When did this happen? When did you become old?
Get out of my chat. How old are you now? I can't do math.
I mean, they're at least like 18, 19 now, right?
Oh gosh.
You're legal, right?
Preschool in 2000.
I was in preschool in the 90s.
What is time? What is age?
We can die together. Amen.
Listen.
Take me home, country roads. Like I've been ready. 2000, I was a freshman.
Yeah, a freshman in high school because we're around the same age then.
In 2023. Okay.
23. That's acceptable.
Born in 1997. God damn. Accurate. Born in 96, 24.
Hold on. What, Phineas?
Mommy and Daddy are working.
I can't hear you. Open the door. What? You're hungry? Boy, go ask your brother to help you. I told you. Go ask your brother and I told him. I said, listen, I'm doing a live stream. I'm not going to be able to do anything for you. Go ask your brother. That's what they're for. That's why I have 2 children. So that one of them can do things whenever I do work. Yes.
So you can put one to work at all times. Where's Jimmy? Jimmy can't cook?
Listen, Jimmy died. Jimmy died in my bathroom because
Yes!
but he, I mean,
Yes, over dishonor.
He's
People
charging right
other.
now. No,
Huh?
he's charging.
God damn it.
Listen, when I tell you that my youngest, okay, so my oldest is 14. He is pretty self-sufficient. He's at that age where he doesn't want to talk to me unless I don't know, he needs money or something,
Yeah, like,
you know. He just doesn't care. He's on his game. But my youngest is 7. And he's still very much like he can't reach things, he can't do anything himself.
Okay, I'm 30 and I can't reach things. Fuck you.
Yeah, well, okay, my people are tall, so I'm just saying. So he can't reach things quite yet. And I have to do things for him. And Matt is working all week. He's off next week though, but he's working all week and he doesn't get home till like 7 or 8, I think, tonight. So I'm just like, what is this? How dare you make me actually do my mom job? How dare you?
I was about to be so excited for Jimmy's liberation.
No, Jimmy is definitely not Jim. For those of you who are curious, Jimmy is my vacuum, my Roomba, because I don't listen, our house is not that big, but it's big enough that I don't want to have to sweep it or vacuum it every day. I don't want to do it. So we have Jimmy, and Amanda is on this freaking mission to liberate Jimmy, and Jimmy doesn't need to be liberated. Jimmy is happy. Okay.
You sounds like Django Unchained. Oh no, they're happy here.
Jimmy doesn't know any better. Okay. What does he know?
You haven't given him the opportunity to learn, Aisha.
Jimmy doesn't need. Okay, see, here's the thing. My family doesn't give a damn about. I could literally be like, "Hey, do not interrupt me," and then 5 minutes later, somebody walks in. And they're like, "Oh, were you recording?" And I'm just like, "I literally just told you 5 minutes ago that I'm doing something," and they act surprised, and they're like, "Oh, I don't want to be on camera," and I'm just like, get out. I want to turn, we have a shed outside, a storage shed, and I want to convert it to an office.
She shed?
Yes, like we're dead serious. Like we want to like insulate it and like convert it into a
she shed. That is the end of our friendship.
A what? Wait, what'd you call it?
She shed. So men get the garage, and then women get the little shed. It's a she shed. You build a fucking. If you build a she shed, I'm leaving.
I'm not calling it a she shed.
You build a she shed.
It's more likely going to be like a sex dungeon, honestly. Like it's
a bro she shed.
Oh, I want it though. It's going to be an office. It's going to be an office.
Why would you want to do a sex dungeon outside? Do you want people to have hypothermia? Your equipment.
We're going to insulate it, and we're going to put heat and air in there.
It's still outside, Aisha. Do you want
to not see a problem?
Okay, you've never had to take care of subs, have you?
No, because I'm not a dom.
Okay, so
see, yes, your mama be knowing. Good for her. Good for her. I support this.
I just don't think that women need to be relegated to outside and have to eke out a meager existence in a goddamn shed.
Oh, we're gonna but the thing is like this. The shed is probably
just live your life in your house that you live in.
Well, because okay, here's the thing. My setup is currently in my bedroom, which I share with my husband. And he has to, and he works. Like I don't have to leave the house, but he does. And so I don't, like, there are things, sometimes I might want to be on here at midnight, and he's asleep, and I don't want to disturb him. So I'm just like, I don't mind being, because we're going to listen. Also,
you have the vacuum cleaner in bondage. Clearly you don't mind.
I mean, I don't mind. Like, as long as he has it like insulated and has all the things, like he was like, he was like, you'll have all your stuff out there, and I'll probably sleep out there, TBH, because it's gonna be decked out. It's gonna be awesome. I can't wait. I'm gonna have a path to go to it so I don't have to walk through the grass because I swear I have like not arachnophobia, agoraphobia a little bit because I don't want to walk in the grass. Or
That has nothing to do with grass.
well, just outside. I mean, it freaks me out. Like the outside scares me a little bit.
Okay,
So
agoraphobia has nothing to do with the outside. It has everything to do with people.
agoraphobia, I thought that was like this fear of outside.
It's the fear of outdoor spaces because of people. It's not
Oh.
just fear of a tree. Like,
Well, what's that then? If you're afraid.
you don't have that fear. It's called being a weird hoe, is what that fear is. Also, acknowledge I'm already a better therapist than Kurose.
This is true. I will definitely give you that. See, listen, yes, some nice carpet, the walls. It's gonna be beautiful. I'm excited. I can't wait because
I mean,
I want
I support
she
you in your
shed.
she shed, but
I definitely, yeah. Listen, trees are scary.
it's literally a tree. What can it do to you? Also, I don't know when I became near, but I've been.
Have you been like putting them together?
I have. I don't know when I became near, when I've been mellow all my life, but I have been piecing these things together and stacking them for several minutes. And I don't really know why.
Oh, you know what?
Yes.
Should we go ahead? Since we're done with our unboxing. Okay.
You wanna talk about
Wow.
an
Why am
episode?
I? Should we recap the episode or talk about anything else? Does
Yeah,
anyone have any questions?
Yeah, our last episode was kenophobia. Thank you.
Is that the fear of trees or the fear of being outside?
I'm guessing it's the fear of trees. Trees are scary, H of 2020.
Yes, trees
They're
are
not scary. The only thing to be afraid of outside are brain-eating amoebas.
I'm mostly, honestly, it mostly is my like my arachnophobia. I definitely am terrified of spiders, and they live in grass a lot of the time, and I just don't want to walk through the grass.
Spiders. What did spiders do to you?
Exist.
They're cute. What? They're cute. They
No,
have little faces, and some of them do little dances to attract mates.
absolutely not.
I think they're cute.
No, I
Okay.
hate them.
Okay. What was our last episode?
So our last episode,
Censorship? Censorship.
yes, censorship. That was an interesting episode because for me, y'all know I don't know nothing.
I'm not allowed to comment on that.
So, I'm there for the ride, and oh, listen.
What if a spider got in the she shed?
Absolutely burn it down. I will never go back in there. I am so terrified.
Okay, like, the she shed is perfect for a spider, especially if you make it really comfy. Like you've built a house where they live.
I've considered burning down my actual house because of spiders.
They're so cute.
They are
And I
not.
don't think that you get any like large spiders out there.
Okay. Have you been to Oklahoma?
No, I've waved at Oklahoma from the other side of the river.
I can tell you haven't. I can tell you haven't been here, girl. Listen.
I have waved at Oklahomans from the other side of the river.
When I tell you that Oklahoma and Texas are very similar, I'm not kidding. Like they are this. Anyway, Oklahoma, we definitely do have quite large. We get large spiders. We have wolf spiders.
Those are fluffy.
And they will run up on you. They are not afraid. They will run up on you.
What is it going to do to you?
Chase me.
It's this big.
Huge like there's these, I think they're just garden spiders, but they're like this big, and they just like, yeah, they're huge.
Aisha, what is it going to do to you?
Be near me.
Does each hand have a knife? What is it?
I don't want it on me. If it's outside and it leaves me alone, I'm fine. But if it's in my house.
Yeah, I name all of my spiders. They get to live in the house because they eat things that are harmful.
No, we have brown recluses. We have black widows. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Fun story. My dad was bitten by a brown recluse spider, and that's not what killed him. That's always
not what I was gonna say. No.
That is not what killed him. But that's always the shock because it's like, oh, is that what killed your dad? Actually, no. That's not what killed him. But my dad got bitten by a brown recluse spider,
Mhm.
and he was like any black man, and he ignored it for days
Of course.
until he started like losing the flesh on his leg. And he went to his dermatologist, like his normal dermatologist. And it's like, yeah, I had this spider bite. And he rolls up his pant leg. And it's like, oh, like that's exposed muscle. Like you have like necrotizing fasciitis. Like,
God.
and it's like, you could have died, sir.
Yeah,
Like,
ain't nobody got time for that. I
oh,
absolutely
the scar he had was so gnarly. I loved it.
no.
From Kageyama.
I
That's
no.
the coolest scar I've ever seen.
I do not like spiders. They can stay in their own lane.
They're trying to. You built a house where they live.
Build this house.
Like you built a house on their land, much like the native peoples in America. Like you are.
And I'm not taking no blame for that. I am not.
Yeah, we didn't ask to be here.
Also, if we're gonna, I mean, I hate to be that one person from Oklahoma who's like, but my family actually is native. So just saying. And also Matt's native. He's Choctaw. So
I only know of Choctaw from the casino. Does that make me a bad person?
no, it just means that the Choctaws marketing is great because that's exactly what they want people to.
Great marketing.
They are I think they're one of the more wealthy of the five civilized tribes.
So our last episode was about censorship, and we actually got some interesting corrections that I did a little bit more research on because I'm a petty asshole and I don't like being proven wrong.
I didn't know that you were still okay. Anyways, good.
This should not be a shock to you at all.
I mean, it shouldn't be because I kind of forgot about I forgot about
it. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Where I was incorrect is in that there are versions that are more raw than others. That is still true. Now, as far as who is doing some of the scanlating and editing afterwards, a lot of that is then done by pirates or people or editors. That is where I will accept a correction. I was slightly wrong. I tip my hat to you.
I mean, I don't even know if I have a dog in this fight because I don't know anything.
It's so weird because like when you're coming at this from, and I think we've always been very honest in saying that we're on the consumer level. I don't think either of us have tried to parade ourselves as like industry insiders. We've always been very upfront with being consumers. So from the consumer end, it's a little bit more seamless as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I don't live in Japan, so.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think, I mean, I am, this is a learning experience for me because these subjects are things that in my entire I guess time as a manga fan, I've never thought about all of those things. So this is a new territory for me.
We are more than happy to
go ahead. Absolutely. Because like I said, definitely for me, this is a learning experience. I've learned, things from Amanda and things from other people like y'all who like comment and things. So I am just like, this is cool.
Also, thank you for asking. Because I don't always like being that person on the internet, but every once in a while, I will become that person on the internet of like, hey, no one asked you.
Oh my gosh, Chica! It's so good to see you. Okay, sorry.
No, you're not.
I'm not. I had to say
you're not. No, you're not.
So yes, Rotten Blossoms. Go ahead. I'm curious because I am ready and open to learn. Because like I said, for me, I think I said it. I don't remember. Honestly, just real talk. I be saying things in those episodes, and then I forget what I say until I have to edit, and then I edit, and then I'm like, what did I say?
Same. Like those episodes happen like in such a whirlwind that like
So,
please don't ask me to repeat anything that I've said during an episode. I
right.
do not remember.
I'm pretty sure. I think my biggest complaint about it was the the ghost penis. I
Right, because you're
don't like
coming at this from being a consenting adult
who wants to see.
who wants to see dicks.
But yes, I'm so like let's have like let's yes. Okay. Okay, that's kind of I had heard that somewhere, but I wasn't sure, so I didn't want to like say because I don't you know what I mean? Like because I don't know that much about it. I was like, I don't know, so I didn't want to say it. But that's
That makes a
interesting.
lot of sense.
Yeah. That's very interesting. Both the lightsaber and the black bars.
Mhm.
Okay. So is it because oh wait, there's more. Okay.
Good job, Isha.
Without the cinders and it's up to the oh, okay. Interesting.
Okay,
Interesting.
I'm down with
Yeah.
that.
I still hate it because I want to see dicks, but
Asia, it's porn. Like we're not supposed to do that.
I want like it's porn. So I should see dicks. Like,
Our release is very depending on the author's permission and comfort level. Okay.
that a lot of I like that.
Mhm.
I like a lot because
I also very much respect that.
again, consent is sexy. So you
Except for
see
the
it
postman.
right. Yes. See, I want to see like I also want to see I mean, I could look in the mirror and see a vagina if I wanted to, but I like to see the things. So yeah.
It's so weird to me because like it's not that I don't want to see it. It's that again, like I'm usually so much more invested in the storytelling that it doesn't matter. Like I actually finally sat down and watched the Twittering Birds Never Fly movie, the Clouds Gather. And while it's more sexually explicit because like you hear like sucking noises and stuff like that, you still don't see any penises at all because that would just make this a porn movie because there's a lot of it. Um, it was so weird that like if anything that almost broke up the storytelling to like
Mhm.
hear Yashiro like sucking Domeki off. It almost broke up the storytelling because it's not about the fellatio. It's about the fact that like Demeki is impotent and Yashiro is basically like doing a power play by sucking his limp cock. Like,
I mean, I don't know. I guess because I think I've said this before, when I go into something that is it depends. Like if I'm going into
sure.
something that um I know is going to be story driven, but
Mhm.
does also have explicit content as like when the explicit content works with the story, I love
Mhm.
that. But
Sure.
if I something is supposed to just be like if it's just hentai, like which some hentai does have
Yeah.
story too, don't get me wrong,
Sure.
but like there's some that I'm just like I don't care about the story. So there's some that I don't care about the story,
Mhm.
and there's some that it's nice to have the story and
Mhm.
also the smut.
Sure.
It just depends. Yeah.
I think I agree with you more on that than I think either of us are really aware of. Because same,
Mhm.
like if I'm just I mean, I very, very rarely read a ton of hentai, mostly just because I find it very trite. I find most hentai just very trite. Even for porn, I find it trite. Um, but like, yeah, I wouldn't if I'm watching like an OnlyFans stream, yeah, I
Mhm.
wouldn't want that censored. Like I know what I've signed up for. I want to
Mhm.
see everything.
Mhm. Mhm.
But there's instances where because especially a lot of the yaoi that I read is a lot more story driven. But like yeah, like it was almost weird like hearing the sex part of it because yeah, like it breaks up the storytelling a little bit. It was good. The movie's still good. There were definitely some questionable translation notes, but that's for a
Mhm.
different podcast. Um
Speaking of translation, this is another thing that excuse me, another thing that I generally feel uncomfortable commenting on because and I've said this so many times that
Mhm,
like because I don't speak Japanese or read
mhm.
Japanese, like I just don't know the difference. Like
So
I don't know that like I don't think I would be able to tell you
mhm,
if it was bad localization.
Mhm.
because I don't. Does that make sense?
So
Yeah.
actually, I was going to text you about this because
Mhm,
so the copy of Twittering Birds Never Fly, the movie I have, actually isn't
mhm,
subtitled.
mhm,
So I had to, by alternate means, find a subtitled version, read
mhm,
into it what you may. Now, this
mhm,
already wasn't the best American subbing of a movie, but based on just context clues, there's a lot of parts that aren't there. And I
mhm,
know this because, and we mentioned this in the stream, having read multiple translations of the work.
mm,
So I can say that's not the word that was used there. Or even just using like, because here's the funny thing about most manga fans, we know a shocking more amount of Japanese than most of us think.
probably, yeah.
So hearing the word imoto and aneki and
Mhm,
knowing what those words mean and not seeing them translated correctly, I don't need to be a level 55 Saiyan weeb to know that that's not correct. I know it's not correct because I've seen those words in that context about 50, 11 times to
mhm,
know what the correct contextual meaning of that word is.
mhm,
So, because I've had multiple readings of this, because, and without sounding gatekeepery, I am comfortable to say that I have mastery of this series because Yashiro is literally me. I know, like, that's not what was said.
mhm,
So, it's interesting that like there are some times where like you take it at face value and yeah, it's fine. It's
mhm,
perfectly fine. But I was really struck by like the level of malcontent of like that's not how that's translated.
mhm,
And you're missing parts of the story that add to the character because that's not how it's translated.
mhm,
And like I was really shocked in how many of those moments there were in that movie alone.
mhm,
Like I was really taken aback. And I'd be curious because I know Sentai has it and I will happily legally support it. What Sentai does with it,
mhm,
because I know some of Sentai's translators, what they then do with that raw footage.
mhm. Interesting. Yeah, it's like I said, it's a hard, not even hard. Like I generally am I just kind of take things as they are. Just because like how am I gonna check? Am I gonna go and buy
Well,
if
okay, but like so Twittering Birds. I have the volume that this is referencing and I know it's wrong. There's a reference to there's a reference to one of the characters having pearlings, which is a
Mhm,
specific tradition for the Yakuza in prison that you get one pearling inserted into your penis per year of prison service. There is a reference to this character having a pearled dick, and
mhm.
that's not in the movie. That's important to know for this character because now you know he's Yakuza, you know he's served time, and you know that he and Yashiro have had a past together where Yashiro has experienced his pearled dick.
Mhm. Okay, so you're kind of talking about though from like manga adaptation compared to anime adaptation or movie adaptation.
Or any of them, because even just manga to manga, different houses will translate things differently. Like,
Yeah,
it's just different.
right. I guess for me, because it's like I'm comparing like the Japanese version to like because I guess for me, because it's like, okay, I can't read Japanese, so I can't go back and look at the original, printing in Japanese and say, okay, this is what this says, and then look at any English version and say, well, this is wrong. Now I can compare like English releases and say, well, this translator decided to translate it this way, and this one decided to translate it this way, and
Mhm,
I like this one more, or this one makes more sense to me. But I
mhm.
still can't say that that is bad compared to the Japanese version because I don't know. Does that make sense?
If
I'm
you
sorry. I keep saying, does that make sense? But
It takes a year off my life every time. Yes, it makes sense, but I think in that sense, like you're not giving yourself enough credit because you're making it sound like it's a lacking in critical reading. It's not. It's just like real talk. Yeah, same. I'm not comparing the katakana like hashtag same. I haven't been able to do that since high school.
right.
I have a job now and
Mhm.
in sex with other people. Like I don't have time for that anymore.
Right.
But yeah, you can compare English to English anime to manga, drama
Mhm.
CD to manga. Like
Yeah.
you can't. That's why I think it's so important to have multiple translations of things, even though it does soft advocate for piracy. Because yeah, like then you learn these little moments of like, hey, that was a choice, and it's a
Mhm.
choice that I don't agree with. So like, yeah, I would be curious to know like what Sentai does with this translation now. If that was just a bad sub, because it was probably bad. It was definitely a bad sub. But like, so cool. What is Sentai going to do with this? Is this going to be softened further because they're probably hoping for a theatrical release for this movie? Are they going to try to be as faithful as possible, knowing that the core audience of this piece of media is older? I don't know. So,
I mean, I'm curious, but also just in general, I don't know, you know me. I'm just in general, I'm indifferent. Like unless it's something just completely just ridiculous, I'm like, yeah. I'm like the worst person to I am not the person that you'd want to like um be out there actually arguing for these things because I'd be like, yeah, it's fine. I'll just read it. I'll take it.
I think it just comes down to like when we came into these things,
Mhm,
but also like this is what I went to school for.
mhm,
Like this
mhm.
is literally what I went to college for.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
and it's what I do when I column and when I write. So like this is literally like, being a media critic is what I do. So like the idea of like ever accepting anything as writ just blows my mind. Like when
Yeah.
people like, oh, I go to the movies and I turn my brain off, like, oh, so you're a sycophant. Excellent. Like I hate that argument. Like, oh my
Mhm.
God. Cause I think I was like reviewing a movie and it was like dumb. And it's like, oh yeah, well, like just go to the movies and turn off your brain. It's like that's how you get fascists. That's how we have fascists, is not critiquing and looking at things with a critical eye. Is when you
Mhm.
accept things as writ, that's how you get fascists.
I mean, I agree to an extent, but I also do think that there's a value in just simply enjoying things without thinking too hard. Like sometimes I'm just like, you know what? Listen,
Do you
I
think I don't enjoy things?
no, you do enjoy them, but I'm saying enjoy it without without critiquing it too hard. Like just kind of just watch it or just read it and be like, this is fun. You know what I mean? And just
No, I do, because that's another thing that I don't understand when it's like, thank you, that's how 1984 happens. But it's like, oh, well, just have fun with it. This is fun for me. When you are bad at writing, this is fun. I like
mhm,
watching your demise, but like, yeah, I kind of hate the idea that like every critic is like Anton Ego from Ratatouille, where like we're these joyless dementors who just
mhm.
jerk off, saying that your movie's bad and like that we're fuddy duddies.
I guess
No, I like a lot of very stupid media. There's
mhm.
a lot. Oh my God. I love The Spirit. The Spirit is one of my favorite movies. And it literally features Ava Mendez making a photocopy of her ass. It's directed by Frank Miller on the most cocaine. Samuel L. Jackson dresses like a Nazi. I'm not kidding. Like Scarlett Johansson's in that movie. I love that movie. It is dumb as bricks. And you'll be able to pry it from my cold, dead hands because Ava Mendez is how I figured out that I wasn't straight. Because I looked a little too disrespectfully at that ass. I was not looking respectfully. I was
Mhm,
not looking with respectful eyes at all. But
mhm,
like, I can have fun. Like, critiquing is not antithetical to fun. I
mhm.
don't hate things. I don't get off on hating things. I don't, live in my Onceler cave and how do I ruin another writer? Woo! Like, no, it's just if your writing is bad, you deserve to be called out. And I can still critique something and love it. It's hella problematic that Samuel L. Jackson is dressed as a literal Nazi and he gets crushed by an iron eagle. That's hella problematic. And I can acknowledge that. But I cackle every time I see that scene. I love Django Unchained. That scene in Django Unchained where it's like, say goodbye to Miss Betty. It's like, bye. And then he blows her into the next fucking room
I've
with
never
like, oh,
seen it.
oh my God, there's this beautiful scene where Django literally shoots a girl so hard that she gets yanked into another room. I love that shit. I still love really dumb things, and I can still critique them because that's what media criticism and thinking are.
Mhm.
It's not the antithesis of fun. I'm not Plato out in some cave, like, you know, no, it's not that. Like, and I think it's important, especially, thank you, critiquing can enrich your experience. Because yeah, like looking at this movie now, those are translation choices that I have questions about. They're not necessarily bad, but again, like I think I mentioned this early when they had taken out the caseless wiener line. It's like, if that's what you're censoring out of Yashiro's mouth, if that's what you're going to censor, I have many more questions. And now after seeing this translation, cool, I have more. They're not necessarily bad questions, they're just questions.
Mm. Yeah, I think that's fair. And when I say that, like, have fun, I don't necessarily mean that you can't, because obviously I don't think anyone can read something or watch something and not have like some sort of thoughts running in their head about like, oh, why did this happen or why did
No,
that
they
happen?
can. Those people are called idiots and they run the country.
Yeah. But like, I guess what I mean more so is like, being able to, sometimes it's just kind of nice to keep those. Sometimes I like to just keep those things to myself, I guess is what I mean. Like, as I'm not one who really cares that much about like if I have a critique, I don't always feel like I want to tell everyone about it, if that makes sense. And
Okay.
so I think a lot of the time, I think something that, talking about fandom and things, something that kind of turns me off about fandoms sometimes is the fact that there are so many people who are just like ready to just like, here's my opinion, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, sometimes can we just like keep our opinions to ourselves sometimes and let people just like a thing without.
No.
See,
Aisha,
that's what I know.
okay. I'm trying to word this without sounding super rude because, like, I'm a little heated about this.
Mm.
Like, I do get where you're coming from, but I think the execution of that is just inherently a little silly because why produce anything if you don't want comment on it? And you're also talking to someone who, I guess, by your rubric, regularly unsolicited gives advice, which is not a great optic to put myself in.
Yes, this is okay. What
But that's on you.
I guess so. Okay,
And
I'll
I
put it
say
this
that
way.
lovingly. And I say that super lovingly because I've had series ruined for me by other people. But that's still on you. I
Well,
don't
and I will,
blame.
right. I
Yes.
will say though, no one's come for me because I'll say no one has a reason to come for me because when I do talk about the things that I love, I do like I can like if I need to, I can defend it. But it's just like sometimes it is just kind of like I don't know, just there are some people who just go out of their way. And I'm not necessarily talking about you, but there are people who go out of their way. Like I might be like, "Oh my gosh, I love 10 count." All I said was I love 10 count. Not me personally. No one's done this to me. But like I might say I love 10 count and then someone has to come out and be like, well, "This is why you're wrong for liking it." And it's like just
But that's conflating two different. That's a troll versus a. Like, those aren't the same thing.
I don't think they're always trolls though. I think there
Okay.
are just a lot of people who just really are passionate about their feelings, which is fine. But it's like sometimes I'm just
I
like,
mean, clearly it's not because you said so.
well, it's fine for them to have that, but it's not fine for them to like go and like yell at people
Okay.
on other people's platforms. Like if you on your own platform, if you know, like that's one thing, but to go to someone else's platform and be like, "Oh, you're trash for
It's not
liking this."
someone else's platform. You posted it on the internet. You shouted it into the ether. It's not someone else's
It's kind of
platform.
like
It's
when you talk
Twitter.
about calling people like pedophiles for liking things. Like
Yeah,
it's
that's wrong for anything.
annoying. Like
Sure. And I'm
that's the
definitely not
same.
advocating for that. There's no
Yeah,
part of me that's advocating for
right.
that.
But I feel the same way about other instances as well. So
Okay.
like I don't know if that's making sense, but yeah, it's to me, I put all of that in the same kind of thing. And a lot of people in fandoms tend to do those things. And sometimes I'm just like, just let people like
Okay.
or dislike the thing. And we don't need to like, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Cause it's like, I don't, sometimes it can be really frustrating for me as because we talked about this in our last, well, it's not up yet, but our last recording that will go up next month, that I have been in this quote unquote fandom mostly alone. And so I've just always been able to like the things that I like, critique it in my head, sure, but like I've not really had to deal with people. Yes. Okay, yeah, that also as well. Yeah, because sometimes just things are just meant to be goofy and silly and just like it not everything needs to be critiqued at this like high level of whatever because it's if you want to, sure, but I don't think everything needs to be done that way. And because it can be exhausting. I just want to like stuff and
Okay.
talk about liking things if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it.
But yeah, if you have any questions for us on this censorship episode, feel free to let us know.
I don't think I see any questions. Are we going to talk about Demon?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because it's dark and
Yeah, that's true. It's yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I still had fun recording the censorship episode.
Mhm.
Um I think it's an important thing to think about, even if you don't, I guess, take these things as seriously as I do. I still think it's important to be at least aware
Mhm.
of the changes being made, because I think one of the reasons I get so up in arms about it is because at the end of the day, everything is trying to push an agenda.
Mhm.
Everything, even dumb things for children, they're trying to push an agenda. So, like we talked about 4Kids, they were trying to push an agenda that to them, the erasure of homosexuality and vice was important. And I think that's worth critiquing. So, even if that's
Yeah.
a dumb kid show, that's a choice that was worth critiquing. That
Mhm.
was language that's worth critiquing. Those are decisions that are worth thinking about. I know
Right.
it's true. That's why I said it. Like, even dumb things oftentimes make very profound statements about the
Mhm.
society they're in and the times that they're in. And I
Mhm.
think it's important, as we are still guests in Japan's house, to look at these things with a critical eye, especially because as fans, we are not immune to propaganda.
Mhm.
Look at the
Yeah.
Hitalia fandom right now with its cosplay fascism. We are not smarter than anyone else. We are not immune to propaganda, which
Mhm.
means it's important to always have in the back of your head that I am being pandered to.
Mhm.
Always. So even if it looks dumb, even if it looks like it doesn't deserve or merit higher critique, it does. And it's those things that squeak by that often have the loudest things to say because they can go under review.
Yeah. I don't disagree. I just think that I do still think that there are some things like I think it's important to be able to critique things and to have knowledge and to have exposure to different things. But I
Sure.
also don't think that it's necessary to just like I it's if someone else is enjoying something, I don't feel that it's my job to just to go and tell them like, well, you're wrong and this is why.
Of course
Um,
not.
now I will talk like now my kids live in my house and I definitely want them to be aware of things or whatever. But even then, I'm just like, I just want you to be able to make critical like to be able to make a critical thought on your own. But it's not my job to like yell at people for not or for liking a thing that I don't like
Sure,
because of
that's why I keep hammering in that point because I think you're really conflating two very different things. And that might just be down to your personal experience with fandom and fan
Mhm,
communities. Because and we've talked about this ad nauseum, when I
mhm.
came into fandom, that's all we did was yell at each other. And
Yeah.
either shut up and shut up, and I say this lovingly, because
Mhm,
it does get hard,
mhm.
or you leave.
Right.
Early fandom was nothing but antagonistic. But it
Mhm.
was and I don't always agree that it was good.
I don't think it's good at I don't think that's I guess I just don't think that's good. Like, I don't see any good in, like, being like, it's one thing to I don't know, like, it's one thing to have conversations about things
Mhm.
and share opinions and be understanding. It's another thing to be antagonistic. I don't like antagonistic
Sure. And
people,
that's
and
fair,
yeah,
and
it's
that's
just
completely fair. And
mm,
I again would I don't think I'd advocate that. I
yeah.
wouldn't. Like anytime that even like so actually I did challenge someone very lovingly.
Mhm,
They
mhm,
had posted something about like spooky shows for Halloween. And they mentioned Devilman Crybaby and said it was weird. And I was really
mhm,
hung up on that word choice because I'm me. And I said,
mhm,
if I may, this is like verbatim what I wrote. If I may, can I ask what led you to use the word choice weird? I've seen the
mhm,
show and a lot of words come to mind, but that one's never one that has. Would you mind explaining your methodology? So it's
mhm,
not antagonizing. It's just I literally don't understand what you mean and I want to know more.
mhm, mhm, mhm.
So there are ways to engage and to learn more without being antagonistic. I completely
Yes,
agree with you. If
yes.
I post that, because I had this on Facebook actually, because I was excited about Hitalia, and it's like, oh my god, that series is so problematic. It's like I didn't ask you. I didn't ask you. I know. I know, Belinda. I'm aware.
Mhm,
That's different than like me writing a fanfic or something and like getting a valid legit critique on,
mhm,
hey, I don't like how this show has allowed a bunch of white teenagers to dress like fascists.
mhm.
That's a valid critique and I understand where that's coming from.
Yeah. Yeah, I think and that's really all I'm saying is that there's a way to be there's a way to have conversation,
Sure.
um, without being antagonistic. And I
Sure.
think a lot of the time in this, like, on especially online in this fandom, um, people can be really antagonistic. Again, not necessarily towards me. Like, I've seen it happen to other people. No one has come for me.
Mhm.
I wish somebody would. But yeah, I see it a lot and I can see how it definitely made me not want to really like get into like deep into a fandom. Like I just kind of keep to my little corner, my little space, and I
Mhm.
talk about what I want to talk about and I get excited about what I want to get excited about. Um and I'm open to having conversations about things, especially if someone's actually read the thing that I'm talking about. We can
Mhm.
have conversations about it and share our opinions. But when people get antagonistic, I'm just like, nope, you're not going to come over here and quiz me just because you want to, or just because you're
Sure.
bored or
And
whatever.
you have every reason to feel that way. I do want to highlight what Ron Blossom said though, that I think another
I
thing that
have,
a lot of consumers don't think about is different laws and restrictions. I think we did mention decency and such like that in the episode.
mm,
That different countries and different places do have things that are considered taboo versus not taboo.
mhm,
I think that's a really, really important thing to consider when you talk about censorship is what is okay per any given platform in any region of origin. I think that's very important. And it's something that a lot of Americans don't tend to think about because we tend to approach everything with American sensibility.
Hold on. Yeah, I think that's probably something a lot of us have not considered. Yeah, that too. It's just
Sure.
I think because the internet is what it is, it makes, I don't know, it gives people this like, I guess it emboldens people to kind of just like push their opinions on people, and I don't know, it's just it's weird. It's weird to me.
This is
That
true. This is very
mhm.
true.
Yep. And yeah, I guess if you're referring to like the antagonistic thing, yeah, like I'm not saying that critique in general is bad, because obviously that's a necessary thing, but just it's the way that people have a tendency to approach it. And because when it comes down to it, like we'll say things like, "Oh, I didn't ask you," or like, "I don't care." It goes both ways. It's like, okay, well, are any of us really asking people for their opinions? No. So I think it's good to try to kind of like approach things in a more like, hey, let's have a conversation. Do you mind? Like you were saying earlier, like if I may, blah, 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 as opposed to being like, you're wrong and this is why. It's like, okay, here we go. So yeah, I think the way, Amanda, that you tend to approach things, I don't see a problem with that.
I mean, I get salty and rude sometimes, but I try to limit that.
But when I've noticed, it's not ever been in the beginning. You know what I
no,
mean? Like it's
I'm
always
almost never the aggressor.
yeah, like it's usually after a person has been aggressive
Yeah, I'm almost
towards you,
never
and then
the
you're like,
aggressor.
okay now. So yeah, I just think that I don't know. I would like to see, which again, I will say that in my space, and even like in our space, I don't think that anyone's really come to us disrespectfully. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
exactly. I agree.
I don't know. For me, I guess I'm very conditioned to it and used to it, and two, that's the internet. If you don't want critique, don't publish.
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm definitely not saying that approach is correct.
Mhm.
And I hate that I'm conditioned to receive abuse on the internet because that's all I've known is
Right.
that. But for me, if there's something that I don't want to talk about or I don't want opened up to people, I don't.
Right. Which is why I generally there's a lot of things that I don't talk about on the
Right. So,
internet.
like, for me, anytime I'm willing to open that up, it's because if someone does come at me,
Mhm.
I got my dukes up and I can
Yeah.
fight you. Like, I'm getting ready to post about Hitalia and its problematic fandom, in which
Mhm.
I spill some major tea on the Hitalia fandom, including my local Hitalia fandom.
Mm.
And I am ready to fight people because
Mhm.
I'm publishing this on the internet.
Yeah.
I'm not naive. Like, but if I wanted to say something that needs to be done, under the rose,
Mhm.
then I'm going to do that. But if I'm
Right.
publishing something on the internet, I'm fully ready for that one jerk off
Right.
who is like, you're a pedophile for sexualizing these characters. Okay, well, you're objectively wrong, so fuck you.
Ugh.
Like, how dare you sexualize these minors there? Like, okay, cool. Anything else? What else you got? Like, I'm used to that. Like, and
Mm.
I'm not saying that that's okay. I'm not saying that that's acceptable or
Mhm.
right or good, but like that's being a part of a community.
Mhm.
Like, this is probably going to sound a little bit gross of me. If I didn't want that, I would just be in echo chambers all the time.
Mhm.
And I don't want that ever. Like, please tell me I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, tell me. I will not always say that I'll take it gracefully because I'm a human being. I'm a petty
Um,
asshole.
I was gonna say you don't.
Like, I cannot always promise I'll take it gracefully, but I don't mind it really because I get better knowing that I'm wrong.
Mhm. Yeah,
So,
I think that's fair. I also though think that in general, I I will say that I have a tendency to. I don't consider myself to be like a quote unquote reviewer or like I'm not a critic or whatever. Like I literally am just like I read this thing. These are the feelings that I had about it. So it's kind of like I don't I don't think I put out content that really no one it's mostly just me sharing my opinion. So people, what are people going to say? Like, oh, you're wrong for feeling this way about this. I don't typically, I try not to make like statements about things. Like if I don't know something, I'm like, nope, not, I don't know, so I'm not going to say. So I think we're definitely in very different realms. Like you are more of a critic, and you know I'm more of like a, hey, I like this thing and these are my feelings. How you, yeah.
but it was a good episode. It was a good discussion. I'm also excited to spill some tea about the Italia fandom because
Mhm.
trust me, as much as I love that fandom and I love that series, I'm acutely aware of how problematic it is. But like
Mhm.
that's the one for me that like recently I've been bristly about because it's like I know. I know it's
Mhm.
problematic and I want to be excited about this and I can't. And I don't like that.
Mhm.
And
But
I'm
see, that's
willing
sad. You should be able to be excited about it.
well, but I think that a lot of the people that have valid points have valid points.
Mhm.
So like I'm not going to be like the one person who's like still trying to wave a Confederate flag. Like if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Yeah. But that's
Like
I guess that's the thing. It's like you can be wrong and still enjoy the thing. Like,
sure.
and that's what I don't understand. It's like what I if you know you're wrong, like I don't know. I guess you should be able to enjoy it and not feel like you have to be ready to fight, because I
Well,
don't
I think
know.
in this instance especially because so many of the points are valid,
Mhm.
it's a little bit easier to just sort of like go into that sweet night. Now, if it's like unvalid or not like good points, yeah, come at me, bro. I will fucking fight you. But
Mhm.
like so many of the points that people are making are valid and are
Yeah.
rooted in things that are actually problematic and are actually bad. And I can't take that from you. And
Yeah.
because I don't have a counter,
Mhm.
I'm willing to be quiet. I'm
Mhm.
willing to, it's like America's Top Model. Sit down, Tiffany. Like, I'm willing to sit down. Like, I don't have a dog in that fight.
Yeah.
Pretty much any criticism that I've heard is true,
Mhm.
and I have to acquiesce.
Yeah. I mean, you can still acknowledge that things are problematic and still shamelessly enjoy it. Say like, yeah, I know, but I'm also an adult who realizes that this is problematic.
Sure,
And what are you going to do? Fight me because I like it? Like, that's what I don't understand. It's like,
sure,
yes, we can acknowledge, because, like, when have I ever not acknowledged that something I like is problematic? Never. I always am just like, yeah, this is, I'm fine with that. But also, you're not, like, I'm not going to argue with people on the internet about something that, like, if I already know it's problematic, I'm not going to argue about why, because I know why. We're not doing, I like the thing.
sure.
Leave me alone.
Mhm.
I don't I don't think that's bad though. If you don't like it, don't read it. Like that's I don't think that's bad necessarily. Like I don't think that's bad at all, personally. Just don't read it. You don't have to read it. No one has to read it or watch it or whatever. Like, I don't know. It's just sometimes I think that it's sometimes I think it's not that serious to like for me to just to argue with someone. Like I like having conversations with you, you know, and like with people, like with our viewers and stuff, but I'm not going to argue with someone on the internet about why I like or don't like a thing. I don't know. It's just exhausting.
So yeah, if that's it, if you guys don't have any questions or comments about this episode or that episode, our next one coming out is on Fanworks, which I think was another pretty good conversation. Again, I don't remember
Yes.
what happened because it was a while ago, and I don't remember what tends to happen after these conversations.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm looking forward to discussing Fanworks, and I think in there we have a little bit of a conversation about gatekeeping and about like fan involvement, which I think hopefully will produce some respectful comments, because I do think that there there is a way to have a conversation about gatekeeping, and I think that 90% of people are doing it wrong. Just in my opinion. Like there is definitely a way to have a conversation about gatekeeping, and I think that most people are not correct with it. I can 100% believe that Oku is ending, because for as good as it is, it's been going on forever.
Yeah.
Like it's been going on for 1,000 years. It's okay. Like things need to end. You don't want a One Piece. Like things need endings. Endings are great. Endings are the best thing that you can do as a writer, is have an end for something. Otherwise you get a One Piece.
Yeah. I'm glad that it's not crazy long, but I'm still sad.
Oh, sure. And I won't take that away from anyone. Like I'm not trying to invalidate any feelings, but like rejoice a little bit in like you get to live long enough to be a hero rather than being a villain.
Right.
Like
yeah, I agree. Definitely.
Yeah, I'm excited for that Fanworks episode to come out, because I think that's an important part of fandom that is somewhat resurging in some places. But I think some parts of it kind of have died out a little bit, which does make my old fan heart a little bit sad, because that was such a formative thing for me back in the day. But you know,
yeah, if I don't, like I said, I never remember exactly what we said, but I do think that I think it's going to be an interesting conversation, because we do come from very different places. Because like I said, you know, I've never considered myself to be like, I mean, I like things, but I've never been like in fandoms like that, you know? And so it's very interesting to me hearing a perspective from someone who has been in that space. Because like I said, I've said so many times, I entered into this as an adult, as a, you know, a young married mom. I did not have time to be like going back and forth with people. So it's really interesting to me to see that, and to see how it's changed for you as you've gotten older, and how in some ways it hasn't changed. So I think it's really interesting. It's, for me, this is like I said, this has been, these first however many episodes we've done have been more like learning experiences for me, because this is stuff that previously I just never really, you know, I just never really thought about it. And so it's been interesting.
It was you. You were the one lurking since yesterday.
Oh.
You are entitled to one blown kiss. And also thank you to Rotten Blossoms for being here. We look forward to comments. We love comments, even though Aisha not so subtly dragged me in my inability to take criticism. I do very much like comments and engagement. I'm usually the ghost in the machine who's always looking at analytics and stats, and that's something that makes me very, very happy. So yeah, like comment, engage, challenge me. I always wait, so I don't. My first response is very, very rarely petty.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, Amanda never just like responds immediately. Like I definitely like appreciate that you, I don't know, you take your time, because you're like, you know what, let me chill, I don't know, I think you do a really good job
Yeah, I don't
personally.
fire from the hip. I'm old. Like I'm not gonna, because like if I posted the first thing that comes to my mind all the time, I would not be employed.
Mhm.
So I'm
Yeah.
always very measured and calculating in that way. Mostly just because it's a respect thing. Like just because you hurt my feelings, like doesn't mean that you're entitled to whatever butt hurt emotions I have at that moment. I always take
Yeah.
my time.
Right. No,
So
I
my
aw.
grandmother had lupus.
I'm
I
sorry that
haven't
you're not feeling
I have
well.
entirely too much history with that disease.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not a doctor, even though I
Right.
play a very, very cute one. Um,
Hopefully you'll feel better soon. I don't know. That sucks.
it
Like I
does.
I just don't it makes me sad when people are not feeling well. Especially this a lot is going on right now for a lot of people. So all I can say is I hope that at least this live stream had, kind of took your mind off of it for
Yeah,
a
at the
little bit.
risk of sounding narcissistic, there was an image that I posted for my other podcast that was that basically had said that podcasting has been a great thing during the pandemic because I feel like I have two friends that are always with me.
Mm.
And if we can be even a fraction of that for y'all, I've
Yeah,
already done my job tenfold. Like
exactly.
this has
That's
been a very scary and weird time. And unfortunately for Americans, it's only going to get scarier and weirder. Um,
yeah,
but
I hate it.
I mean, hashtag same, but like go vote if you haven't already.
Yeah. Everyone's been talking about I have not voted yet because I refuse to vote alone in this town. So I'm going on election day with Matt. I do not vote alone because I'm not I am always when I say that I am always the only brown person standing in line, I'm not exaggerating. I refuse. I will not I will not stand there. Especially right now, honestly scared. Like I'm genuinely terrified of I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
trust people.
everything.
Yeah, like I'm genuinely terrified of like
That's why I voted at my lunch at the mall because if
yeah,
anyone was going to take me down, there was going to be a lot of witnesses.
right.
And I hate that I have to think that way, but I did. It's like if I'm going to go down, I'm doing it at the mall where there's
Yeah,
security guards and cameras and a lot of witnesses.
right. See, and
This is
that's the thing about living in a small town is like there's only one place. There's one place to go vote, you know, and I don't know. I'm way too nervous. It's just I'm way too scared to go alone. So I'm going on election day with Matt. We're gonna vote. Hopefully,
I early voted. It is out of my system. But
mm,
both of your Yaoi parents want you to vote. Um,
yes. If you're
so
if you're watching this stream, you're probably old enough to vote.
I mean, you should be, even though 7% of our audience is still under the age of 18.
Tisk tisk
Amanda's always watching. That's our next
tisk.
t-shirt. Amanda's always watching. I know who you are. I know where you live. I know what device you're listening on.
I mean, I don't. That's a little scary.
I know exactly approximately how much money you make. I know when you listen. I know what program you use to listen. I know everything. So to the 7% of our audience that's still underaged, we see you.
I mean, I don't. I don't.
We see you. Also,
You'll vote
1% of our audience is over 60. I would like to very much meet them.
Yes.
So that like 1% of our audience is over the age of 60. Please reach out.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was someone.
Zero judgment for binge watching all of our videos.
No, why are you apologizing to us? We should be apologizing to you.
Right. You had to deal with what, like 8 hours of us?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's Big Sister. It's Amanda's always watching. This is what happens when you send women to college. They learn how to read stats and analytics. This is what happens.
Unless you're me and you go to school for language, Spanish. I was going to be a Spanish teacher.
I went to school, I double majored. I went to school for English and communications. So really, I could have just been an English teacher, but I don't think I'd be a good English teacher.
I don't know. You might surprise yourself. I don't think you'd be bad.
I always imagine it being like a children's teacher, Mr. Kwan, which is my favorite web comics, where you literally have a disgruntled Korean man who's like smoking underneath the dismantled smoke detector, being surrounded by children who are like, "You shouldn't be smoking in here." That's always.
I feel like that's a good place to.
So happy Halloween. Thank you to Yaoi Crate for sponsoring this episode.
Yes,
We look
yes,
forward to
yes.
working with you more in the future, as well as any other potential sponsorships that we may get. We have a review coming out hopefully in the next week or so for a book that we were sent. And look forward to more content from us.
Yes.
Happy Halloween and blessed Samhain.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Stay inside.
Yeah, stay inside,
Do
please.
not go trick or treating.
Go vote,
Okay.
but like stay inside.
And wear a mask.
Yeah, wear a mask.
Like I'm literally wearing a mask in my house for cosplay, but still.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. Go do all those things.
Yes. Happy Halloween.
Bye, guys.
Bye.